Given that, should we start? Okay. I'd like to call to order the Open Space Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. The land that Eureka rests on is known in the Wiyot language as Jarajuji. Past actions by local, state, and federal governments removed the Wiyot and other indigenous peoples from the land and threatened to destroy their cultural practices. The city of Eureka acknowledged the Wiyot community, their elders both past and present, as well as future generations. This acknowledgement demonstrates the city's commitment to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. Now, can we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Bareilles?
Here.
Commissioner Renner? Here. Commissioner Mays?
Here.
Commissioner Hedgecock? Here. And Commissioner Smoker is supposed to be here, but not yet. And we also do not have Commissioner Malik or Commissioner Sims.
Thank you. Okay, the recommendation is to approve the minutes from the September 25th, 2025 regular meeting as submitted. Commissioners, are there any questions, corrections, or comments from the commission on the minutes for the September 25th, 2025 meeting? No. Jenny? Okay. I'm supposed to ask for public comment on the approval of the minutes. Carl? Pass. And let's see. So is there anybody on Zoom tonight?
There's just staff, so we're okay.
Okay. And so since there's no public comment, do we have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I'll move to approve the minutes as submitted.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Please vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and the motion passes and the minutes have been approved. Commission reports. Are there any commission reports? And there probably are not. So there are no commission reports. Now it is time for public comment. Each public comment speaker is limited to 3 minutes. And am I supposed to read this section, Jessica, about the... right. Am
Yes,
I
most
supposed to
people
read
do.
that out?
It's
Okay.
just we want to make sure that people realize it's just for things that aren't listed on the agenda.
Okay, so this section of the meeting provides the public an opportunity to address the commission on any subject not appearing on the agenda. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the Open Space, Parks and Recreation Commission cannot take action on any item that does not appear on the agenda. Oral communications from each person addressing the commission will be allowed 3 minutes. Is there anyone that would like to address the commission at this time? Carl. Hi, Carl. Welcome.
Thanks. Just going to give a brief report on what I'm doing in Cooper Gulch Park. So there's, what's that?
Yes, Jenny can, but
Is it one of these? Is it at the podium? Look at that. Cool. I'm going to play with that more often. Is that good?
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so I've been working at Cooper Gulch Park. There's a ton of invasives there, fruiting holly, cotoneaster, fruiting ivy. It's kind of spilling out into the community, and so it's an easy place to go and make a big difference. So the goals are, goal number 1 is stop the spread of the berries, just take the berries out. Goal number 2 is to get rid of the invasives. Goal number 3 is to bring back the native plants. I'm hoping that maybe we can get a committee together with different interested parties to try and figure out how to redo the park there. There's a lot of needless trails. You know, we could replace those with native plants. And then we can also make more room. The timer isn't going, so, okay. Okay, sweet. Thank you. So I'll be brief anyway, but I invited the disc golf people. I see them all the time because I'm there. I'm like they're all very effusively thankful for the invasives that are coming out there. It's really opening up the park a lot. So yeah, I was hoping we could sometime get a committee together to plan the new park. So I put together, so far I've done 62 hours of removing invasives there. My volunteers have done 130 hours. Since September 20th, which is the last big event we've had, I've done 41 hours. My volunteers have done 42. So what I do is I just cut down a bunch of stuff, put it in piles, and then at our big public events, we have all the volunteers come and we haul it out to the dumpsters and stuff. There have been some complications with that. I'm sorry for piling all this stuff. I got all that stuff on bat, ready for the dumpster, and then there was a resident complaint, and then you guys got stuck with so I'm not putting the stuff on the street anymore. There's concern that there'll be more dumping if we use that to put the stuff on bat. So yeah, obviously won't do that. So far on September 20th, we removed 1,220 pounds of fruiting holly. And then we've had 3 large dumpsters removed once a day on October 16th, 21st, and 22nd. Those are at least 1,000 pounds each. Still don't know the weights. This coming Saturday, we've got an event planned, but unfortunately, yeah, exactly. It's probably going to be canceled because it'll be rained out. We are taking the wood out we're taking the trunks out because it massively reduces the weight that the city has to pay for. Hoping to find a way. At first, I was just going to make a pile. I was going to talk to you guys first, but I was going to make a pile at the end of 11th Street. People could come and get free firewood, basically. I've seen them do that in Sequoia Park. But we got to find a different way because I can't just stockpile it there. There are some groups that give free firewood to people that need it. Maybe we could do that. Maybe they'd even haul some of it out. I don't know. Okay, so it's really opening up the park. I think it's fair to say that it's making the park safer and more comfortable to be in. One woman I was with there said, if I was to yell back here, nobody would even hear. It's so claustrophobic, and the plants are just coming right to the trail. So that's really getting cleared out, and you can actually see through stuff, and it's looking more and more like a park. The disc golfers, 3 of whom are here now. Like I said, to them, I see the disc golfers out there all the time. They're pretty effusive about how much they like it. They want to expand the course. So I think there's room for more nature and more disc golf there. So that'll be, they also tell me that Manila is expanding their course to 15 baskets. So we've got 9. I don't think I have to emphasize how much we don't want to let them pull in front of us, right? Like basket gap. Yeah, exactly. So you'll hear more from them. I think they're going to get up and talk. It's better because there's less room for unhoused people to come in and camp. It's good for the birds also. I've seen birders out there. The Audubon Society has an event there. So yeah, native plants are good for birds. There's also a lot of problems with drainage there. You're probably intimately familiar with the problems with drainage. And so native plants are good for that because they break things up. They have more varied root systems so that the water can penetrate the ground better and then be gradually released instead of just hitting the ground and running off. There's the ground is really compacted now. You can look between the roots of the holly that's on the ground, and the ground is really impenetrable there. So yeah, the contractor with the city has already diverted the water in 2 different ways at the end of 11th Street, but I think even more could be done. You could take out the south side of 11th Street as that comes down. I don't know. I'm not a hydrologist. I don't know. This is for other people to decide, but you could have a lot more water going out on that south side of 11th Street at the cul-de-sac, and then it could flow through an area with a lot of native plants and things like that. Have a few French drains in there, taking the water, some of the water that way. But anyway, so this is what I've been working on at Cooper Gulch Park. I'm going to continue to remove the invasives there. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions, commissioners? Thank you, Carl. Oh, go
Thank
on.
you for
Thanks.
all that, you know,
Yes,
you
such
do
hard
getting
work.
rid of those invasives. It's a big deal.
Anyone else like to speak? Hi, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Ryan Powell,
Hi, Ryan.
and I wanted to talk about the Del Norte Street Dog Park. It's a really popular park. When I was there this evening, there were about 30 dogs going through, and more kept coming in and out. So it's a really nice park overall, and the regular maintenance has been doing a lot better lately, so we appreciate that. We do have, me and a bunch of the other people there who go there regularly have two things that we wanted to address at the park and see if we could do anything about them. The first one was the lack of a water source inside the park. There's some confusion on whether there's something preventing the city from putting water in, or if there's nothing preventing it, if we could get water in there, because people try to bring water from home, but it ends up spilling and it gets filthy, and it just is a bit of a hassle to do all that. The second point was the back gate to the park. People keep like completely dismantling it and taking it off the hinges and moving it to the side, and dogs can get out. It looks like there was some attempts to secure it. Like now there's chains on it, but unfortunately it hasn't really fixed the issue. People are still taking it off. The chains are only kind of holding it nearby the fence posts. So we keep having to adjust it pretty much every time any of us are there, so the dogs don't escape and go into the bay. If I don't know if anybody like needs to go through the gate, like if it's there for some city maintenance purpose. We're hoping maybe it could be like replaced with a solid fence, or maybe we could put an airlock sort of gate on there that's not locked all the time, so people don't feel the need to go and take it off the hinges, whoever's going through there. Just whatever we could do to try and fix that gate situation. And that's all I had.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? Please come forward. Please introduce yourself.
Hi there. I'm Santiago Espinosa. I'm the member liaison for our local disc golf club, Parnfinity. So yeah, Carl approached us and we're totally interested. I know we've talked with the city a couple times about expanding Cooper's Gulch, I think, in the past. We're always open for, helping out. We have funds that we can buy baskets for. We just bought all new baskets for Manila. It's kind of like we raise funds for our club in order to do stuff like this, so we can definitely bring in volunteers. We've got over 1,000 members part of our club. People are always down to help out. And then, yeah, like buying stuff like cement for tee pads and tee signs and disc golf baskets. And so we just wanted to show up to support the idea, if the possibility is still open, to expand the course at Cooper's Gulch. Yeah, thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you very much for. Oh, hi. Come on up.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hi, this is my first time speaking here. Nice to meet you all. My name is Bert Berg. I've been a member of the community since birth. I grew up in Myrtletown over here. Went to Lafayette School, then Eureka High, and Zane Junior High in between. Over the course of my life, I've utilized a lot of the city parks. I've played basketball at M Street Park, 14th Street Park, Carson Park. I played football at Carson Park. Cooper's Gulch, I did City League softball. I've also gone to Kennedy and played softball over there. All of my kids grew up here, all three of them, and utilized all the parks as well. In the last 15 years or so, I got turned on to disc golf because I am a complete hack at ball golf. It is the only sport I was terrible at, and so I thought I would try disc golf. It's been great for me. Not as great as some of these guys, who are very good. I live in Eureka. I live on S Street over here next to Cooper's Gulch, a couple blocks away actually, and I frequent there often. I also go to Manila and all the other courses too. Cooper's is kind of the butt end of the disc golf community because it's so overgrown with invasive species that it's easy to hide if you're a transient person in there, or if you've done any crime. One of our friends was stabbed there. There's been fights there. A lot of transients show up there and cause real problems. We as a community try to chase them off. Doesn't always work. Causes problems for us. What he's doing in the park right now, taking out a lot of stuff, is opening up some space for the possibility of more baskets, which has been great. We've been discussing that for a long time. I went to a meeting at the park where we did some workshop on what is it we would like to see for the park. I don't know if you all were familiar with that. It was a few years ago. And a lot of disc golfers showed up and said we would like, I think you guys were talking about what to do with a grant. And that grant, I think, got used on 2030 Park. I could be wrong. Okay. There was a lot of discussion. Not a lot really happened too much. But, will you shut that off? Thank you. Sorry, that was my phone. I would really like to see Cooper's Gulch flourish into what it can really be. And the space that he's opening up makes it nice for the police to come through and walk the park when they need to. Chase out transient people, because we shouldn't have to do that. It's dangerous. I'm excited for the work he's doing. I see a lot of it going on. He's definitely widening up some spaces. Look forward to that coming to fruition, maybe with some more holes. I'm not sure what your all long-term plans are for the park, if you're planning on rebuilding the softball fields into soccer fields or what have you. But there's a lot of potential here for the sport of disc golf. And again, we would like to have trails available for people who are not going to see discs flying over their head as they're walking. Some of the trails in there right now are like that. And we're very aware. We put spotters out to look for people so we don't hit anybody and cause you guys any grief like that. But it's the centralized park for disc golf in Eureka, and I would love to see it develop further. So if that's at all a possibility, and the work he's doing is helping open up space, like these guys said, we have a lot of resources and volunteers. We could come in and put in sleeves for the baskets, tee pads. There's a lot of workshops that go on for the children. We show up at Cooper's Gulch. We invite all the kids to show up. We give away discs, teach them how to play. Par Infinity is really involved in the community. They're a great, great organization. I've been a member for many years. I'm not as dedicated to speaking as these guys are and organizing and committing. I'm pretty much an end user. But I wanted to come here tonight and let you guys know that there's a great interest for disc golfers. Like you said, over 1,000 strong. A lot of people travel from out of the area to come to this little course because it's on an app called UDisc. So people who are traveling will come and see that there's a course there. And it's a cute little course, 9 holes. I travel a little bit. I see other courses. They're 12 to 18 holes. You're not always going to get 18 holes. But I would love to get some more in there. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank
Please
you so
put the
much.
word forward for us. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else? Thank you very much for all your comments.
Carol, I'd like to address
Sure.
our public commenters. I really appreciate all of you coming. We don't always get a lot of public comment. And please, we encourage you to reach out to staff so that we can have actual discussions rather than just comments. We want to hear from you. We have master plans and things like that can evolve, and grants. And so we have done a lot of community outreach specifically for Cooper Gulch. It hasn't been as robust the last year or two, but it exists, and we're here to have those conversations with you. So we encourage you guys to reach out to us. You can look our community services up on the city website, and all our emails are there, and we look forward to having those discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay. Now, sure.
Maybe I'm being totally out of place. As far as that gate goes that you're talking about, I mean, I do a lot of trail work, and the thing is, if you put in a fence, it might just get cut open anyway. So there's that. Just even if they replace the gate or fix the gate, I mean, people could just, it's trivial to cut into a fence. Anyway, sorry.
Thank you, Carl. All right. On to old business. Carson Park Improvement Project. Robin. Are you ready?
Yes. Good evening, commissioners.
Hi, Robin.
So this is a new agenda item now because the Kiwanis Club of Henderson Center has designated the Carson Park Playground as their 75th anniversary project. So we look forward to updating you each month on the project. For tonight, I only have a small update. Kiwanis is continuing to fundraise and seek grants. They're probably only at about roughly 20% of their fundraising goal. So we definitely look forward to future updates where they get more momentum, but also a quick little plug if anyone on the commission is interested or has ideas of potential donors. We would definitely love your help finding the generous people out there who are interested in supporting the project. So we're always looking for help on that front. We do have a big check-in meeting next week with Kiwanis, so hopefully next month the update will have a little bit more of what's going on. And that project is slated to occur by October of next year to get that new playground in. So we definitely need to keep going with the fundraising and hit our goal as soon as we can.
Robin, what's the total projected cost?
150,000 roughly, though we should probably account for inflation because costs just keep rising, but that's roughly the goal.
Any other questions for Robin on the Carson Park? All right. Thank you, Robin. And now on to new business, Parks Division, Chad Howell. Hi, Chad.
I'm going to introduce, good evening, commissioners. I want to introduce Chad Howell. Chad is our newest parks maintenance supervisor and works in tandem with our park superintendent, Greg Osborne, who you probably met, also wasn't able to be here tonight. But want to introduce Chad. Chad's been with us in the supervisor capacity for a year, a little more than a year now, and has really come in with a lot of great experience. And I'm going to turn it over to Chad to give a little report and update on what's going on with parks maintenance.
Okay, thanks for having me. I do have quite a bit of Parks and Recreation experience. I've been doing it for over 20 years. I've worked in 7 different states. I have done natural resource-based parks, athletic facilities, recreational facilities, water parks, aquatics, all kinds of different things. I've got 3 children. 2 of them are in Ohio, and 1 of them is in Los Angeles. So that's just a little bit about me. I wanted to talk about our staff a little bit because without that staff, we don't make anything happen. We've got Jody, takes care of the Sequoia Park's garden. Robert takes care of Sequoia Park with some help, obviously, 'cause Sequoia Park's very large. Ray takes care of Carson Park and also helps out wherever he is needed. Chris takes care of Cooper Gulch, and I do believe Chris is doing a good job. He does move people out of the park, and he keeps it clean. Willie is our downtown guy. He does a good job down there as well. Dusty is over Hammond Park and Ross Park. He also is our landscape guru, if you want to say, because he has some landscaping experience. Mike, he takes on Highland Park and also Dayas. And then we have Cheyenne, who takes on Dayas as his main park right now. And then he also helps out wherever he is needed. The experience these guys have, we have two of them are master gardeners. Several of the staff have state and national park experience. And we have a wildland firefighter on our staff. We have guys with construction maintenance, landscape experience. And then we also have, I like to call the local talent who knows how, Eureka operates and things. So that's kind of our staff. And I'm very happy with the staff that these guys have put together before I got here. Some of the areas that we maintain, we have 14 parks in total. Carson, Clara Mayberry, Coast Guard Park, Dayas Park, Eureka Skate Park, Halverson Park, Hammond Park, Highland Park, Kamisu Park, Lombard Hills Park, Ross Park, Sacco Theater, Amphitheater, Sequoia Park, the Sequoia Park Flower Garden, and then the 2 dog parks, Eureka Dog Park and Del Norte. And within these parks, we have 6 ball diamonds, Cooper Gulch has two. We have Hartman and Kennedy, Jacob Haney, and Highland Park as well. There's 230 acres of parks and open space that we maintain, along with the 2,000 street trees. There are many gulches and greenways, landscaped areas in the city-owned parking lots, and we also take care of occasional encampments. We stay busy. We have a lot of areas to cover. I do believe the guys are doing a good job. We've kind of changed things up, how we do things, at least that's what I'm told. I don't know how it was done before, honestly, but we have two groups now, and we've separated the parks into north and south so that we can have a little bit more accountability with the parks. And I believe it's working. Some of the guys have really taken that on, and some of the things that you've seen done at Carson Park have been ideas of the individuals, our park staff. So this is kind of what I wanted. I wanted them to take the ownership, and they have done that. Some of the projects we've worked on, DeYosp, obviously, we helped out to finish up when the contractors were moving out. We helped out with a few projects there to make sure that everything was going to come together. And we've also, Jacob Haney Field needed some attention. We worked on that, got the irrigation going there. We've had other irrigation projects at Carson, Highland, and even Hartman and Kennedy that we're working on. They're still works in progress, but we're working to get those taken care of. Some of the challenges that we've faced since I've started here at Eureka, the vandalism and graffiti. 2 weeks ago, we just were hit hard over and over, day after day. But the guys did a great job. No complaints, just go out and take care of it. Pressure wash, whatever, paint, if we had to do some painting, the graffiti remover. I think we took care of it in a pretty timely manner. Another challenge, I believe, is the street trees and just keeping up with those. This is something that I'm looking at maybe adjusting our teams a little bit, and maybe I'm just looking at tweaking things a little bit. So we'll see how all that works out coming up in the next few months. We've had some erosion control issues at Cooper Gulch. We had to repair a large tile. We did this in-house that washed out the main trail there behind the ball diamonds. The guys did a great job on that. We've also just keeping up with the mowing in the spring. A lot of Cooper Gulch is very wet in the spring, so that south ball diamond, it's just hard to get on there and mow it. So those are some of the things that we've experienced in the parks. We've also had, the encampment cleanups. Those are difficult. They do take away from our time in the parks. That's, just take that into consideration. We've had to clean up at Cooper Gulch, J Street and 16th Street, Henderson Hill, and then any other large open space areas and green belts. So we try our best to keep on top of that. It's difficult, but we're doing what we can. And then you always have, some negative reaction from public, and I think every one of the guys actually does a good job dealing with that, staying calm, listening to what the problems are, and if possible, we take care of it as soon as possible. But some of the successes, and I'm really happy about this, the teamwork. The team really works well together. I'm very happy. I will say at the beginning it was a little bit of a struggle because I'm an outsider coming in, but here the last 6 months it's been great. They've been working together. We've had a lot of successes, little things that we've done, at Carson Park, just cutting the hedges, making it a more open area. There's no place for people to hide. Painting the building there at Carson Park, just little things like that to make things look better. We've done that in all the parks, trying to just make these subtle improvements. And also, the cutting of the hedges at Carson also helps with improved visibility, sight lines, and things like that. So that helps park staff to be able to see the park. Also, anyone who's in the park watching their children, you're able to see much better. And it helps with EPD when they are looking, just checking the parks out. So those are some things we've done. And we also did a little bit of that at Sequoia. We raised the trees up a little bit on the drive entering Sequoia Park. It's more uniform, and I like the look of it, because then you can see into the park and you can see kind of what you're getting into. I've always tried to do that, open up the edges so that you can see into the parks. I think that's a good visual, and it's good to bring people in, gets more people into the parks. With the teams that we've put together, it's also allowed us to visit these parks and the restrooms more often. We're visiting them, if we're not there all day on a project, we're visiting them in the morning, after lunch, and then also when we close. So that allows, the cleanliness and the, things like that, the trash, the garbage. It helps out with that a lot. The staff does a great job on the weekends. They're very personable and approachable with the rentals. I'm very happy with that. And I'm a big fan of park rentals, because when you have a lot of people wanting to come into your parks, that's telling me we're doing a good job of, with the maintenance and making them look good. And, people want to come out to a clean, well-maintained park. And I guess we've had over 140 rentals this year, which is up from 120 last year. So, yeah, that's pretty good stuff. I just want to say I'm enjoying my time here, and everything's going pretty well. So
Thank you,
Yep.
Chad. I have a question.
Yep.
Are you fully staffed now, or are you still hiring?
No, we are fully staffed.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
we have 9 full-times, and we just brought on a temporary. So now we are fully staffed. Yes.
Great.
Yep.
I'll comment on that. We got into a period back. I don't think we were fully staffed since 2005-ish. We are having some economy issues. Budget cuts came, and we're cutting 30% of our staff. We got down to 5, and now to have the coverage, we can build all these new things and improvements, but you got to have maintenance for it. And so that has been a priority of not only our staff, but our councils and other supportive people. And through budgeting, we are getting more money for upgrades and maintenance, and always looking at creativity through grants and other funding sources, and volunteerism, which we are on a huge roll. So thank you.
There's one right out there. I have one other question. Did you say Hammond Trail?
Hammond?
Hammond?
Hammond Park.
Oh, Hammond Park,
Hammond
because I
Park.
was thinking, that's
Yeah.
county. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard it wrong. Commissioners, any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. When you mentioned about like cleaning up graffiti.
Is your microphone turned on?
There we go. Can you hear me okay? Sorry. All right. So I just wanted to, like we talked earlier about live feed cameras, and I was wondering if that kind of surveillance would help deter, like some of the areas where there's some problems, and having signs that say, "Hey, you're on camera," because just the thought of being on camera can deter someone that might do graffiti or whatever it may be. So I just don't know if you have that, or that's something to think about.
I think we have discussed it. It's just getting, the funding and things to do that, because it would be quite expensive. But I think it would be a good idea. We could place them in certain areas, and then we could get some good coverage. If you have a centralized location, if you have a 360 camera, you could get some good video. Yeah.
We've been able to utilize some movable devices, like what we call a lot cop. We've had it. Carson Park was getting hit regularly, and we moved that there. It didn't totally stop, but it's a visible presence. The blue light, and you see them in parking lots and other places in town. we need to think about when we say surveillance of parks, it needs to go hand in hand with our policies with the city, which are on a bigger scale than just our parks. But we also look at things in terms of like webcam type things, which are more accepted in terms of like, I want to go play basketball at Dayas. Is there other people down there? I can get on my phone or computer and see, oh, there's a group of people down there I could join. Or is there a hockey game going on? Is there, what's going on at that site? So looking at things in, that dual purpose of having informative things for the public to view and not like a closed circuit type thing where there are concerns from the public. We're hearing about that a lot in our bigger picture council things. So with drones and with other things. So we want to be respectful but we also, I think it's a huge advantage for us to have that type of equipment. So.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, you're
That was
welcome.
a good report.
Yeah, thank you, Chad. Thank you for coming. As we had mentioned a couple months ago, we're really trying to rotate different groups in and let you guys get a more wider breadth of what we're doing out here in community services. And so we'll continue that and appreciate Chad being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, the November and December meetings, Jeff.
Okay, so looking at the calendar ahead for the next 2 months, we have some, not to say conflicts, but the next meeting is scheduled on Thanksgiving, and
That's a little
Carol said
conflict.
she was making the sweet potato pie, and
You don't want to have it, so
okay.
I think we'll
The
pass
stuffing?
on that idea.
But we need to make some decisions so that we can all plan accordingly. So obviously, there's a couple options we can look at. Cancel the meetings on November 27th and December 25th, Christmas. Then also, we could have a meeting. It looks like December 4th would be available, and then we wouldn't have an opportunity again until the next scheduled meeting in January. Being considerate of all of your and staff time with the holidays, traveling, etc. If you guys would like to discuss, and we should try to make a decision.
I'm fine with the December 4th. Is that everybody else?
And
Fine?
I'll remind you, we need to have a quorum.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to be
it-
out of town. I'm
Oh,
I'm
okay.
on a
So
plane
we-
the day before. Yeah.
That might be difficult to get a quorum then for the 4th. You're available? I'm available. I should be. And December 4th?
I don't think so, but yes.
Okay. So if that would be 4, we'd have quorum, correct?
And then there's 2 commissioners we haven't heard from, or
Right.
3 commissioners. So there's a chance we can send out.
Send out.
Why don't we send
notice.
out a email about December 4th? We will go ahead and
Yes.
cancel the other 2, and then see what the response is, and then schedule accordingly. So that because we need to confirm quorum, and then we need to put out the agendas and stuff for the public. So
Okay. So,
sounds good.
Do we need to vote on that recommendation, or is that?
I believe
We're-
so.
okay.
Like at least why don't you make some type of motion?
The motion that we cancel the November 27 and December 25th meetings. We attempt to schedule one for December 4th, dependent upon a quorum being available to attend.
Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And it passes. Okay, thank you, Jeff, for that. Am I supposed to ask for public comment on that one? I don't think so, although that's what this
I'm
says.
sorry. Did Sarah, were you the seconder on that one? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, and have a preference on schedule, so I think we've done that. The reports. The McKay Community Forest Advisory Group. We will be meeting again, hopefully in November. I will say that today I walked the McKay Forest Trail near Redwood Acres It's beautiful. It's a great trail. I know that they still have some work to do, but it's just a great asset, and it's coming along slowly but surely. If there are any comments or questions about the McKay Community Forest. Otherwise, we'll go to upcoming volunteer opportunities with Robin.
Thank you. Well, even though it might get canceled, our soonest volunteer opportunity is what Carl had mentioned was this Saturday at Cooper Gulch, but the weather is not looking favorable. But I also want to take a second to shout out to Carl about all of his volunteer efforts. We appreciate him so much. And he started with us at Sequoia Park, and I'm guessing he saw how much Byron there was at Sequoia Park and that Cooper could use some love. So he's been focusing on that, which is great. Because Cooper Gulch is just as special. I know it's not as utilized. It needs improvements. We've sought grants. We continue to. But having someone like him in the meantime that can help with the invasive species is instrumental. I know Chad was just talking about how much they appreciate him because our parks just might not have the time to do that type of work. So, so grateful for the next year with Carl and what we can do with him at Cooper, and definitely will let you guys know when we have future events at Cooper Gulch. Other than that, though, coming in November 1st is our Old Town meetup for beautification. We do that every other month for Saturday at 9 a.m. We do Los Bagels breakfast, and then we will work on the landscaping in Old Town. That's 9 a.m. November 1st, meeting at the Visitor Center on the gazebo. And then Sequoia Park Ivy League does have an event every month. So November 15th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., they will be out there removing ivy from Sequoia Park. And that is all we have for volunteerism coming up in the next month.
Commissioners, any questions for Robin on volunteer? And thank you for the shout out to Carl. Parks capital projects, Jeff?
Okay, I've got a couple of small updates on some capital projects. I'll start with our ongoing. As you noticed, we've removed our Dayas Park because we are substantially getting to completion, but it's not totally done. We have a few items left to finish up with the contractors. We need to receive like as-built and things like that for our electrical systems and irrigation, so we know right where to dig in the future. But also, we just finished almost completing the sports court with some new vinyl fencing that really completes the court, and like the ball won't go out into the parking lot, or the hockey pucks won't fly over into the grass. So if you get a chance, just drive by that section there and take a look. And every time we go by there, people playing, and we just love that. And
it's
so
wonderful.
It's my pleasure to drive by there every day. And then we had late yesterday afternoon, we had the Landscape Structures Company who built our egret and play area, all that custom pieces. They came to do a photo shoot for their. So we'll obviously, we knew this, but we'll be in their catalogs, we'll be in their videos and their promotional items. So we're proud of that Eureka gets represented in all over the world, really. So that we're happy about that. Ross Park is on our list for, like, we're trying to figure out how to make some improvements there, give it some love. But a new swing set has been ordered to replace an old Game Time unit. Game Time's a company that we have had issues with getting replacement parts. So similar to like at Sequoia Park, that place set there. We'll be removing that and installing a new basket. It's a combo with a basket swing. Just a basket swing, sorry. We have existing other swings there, but I wanted Barbara to know that we were getting a new swing and a little love for that park. And we're also meeting with staff out there more regularly to just like what little things we can do with our funding that we have. And of course, we are always looking for those grant opportunities and funding sources there. We did a couple years back, about 4 years ago, we did receive some funding to get new play surfacing there, the rubber matting down under the play area. So we're happy about that for Ross. And then Cooper Gulch, we recently had a little work party with the Humboldt Skate Collective, which is a skateboarding group. And we've been working with them for a few years, and they raised some funds and got 2 new benches, and they helped our park staff install. in the skate park area, and we're regularly meeting with them to just like hear their ideas and for things for improvement. In addition to that, through another skateboard staff person, the Skate Collective and Rotary in Old Town, they sought some funds through our participatory budgeting through the city. So keep that in mind, everybody. To get a new hydration station drinking fountain, because there isn't one near the skate park or the front part of the park. The only drinking fountain we have at Cooper's is plumbed to the bathroom there. So it did require, it's a Cadillac of a drinking fountain, and it has the bottle filler and the doggy bowl. And we have to bring water lines to it. And so there was a comment earlier about water at the dog park disrupting. In the coastal areas, it's very difficult. We have to go through this permitting process, and so that's where we're working on that as a group. And so I'm excited that more people will reach out to us so we can have those discussions with citizens. But when you're down in the coastal zone, you have to go get coastal development permits, and so we don't want to do that in a piecemeal thing. We want to go, here's a bigger plan, and let's go after this bigger permit, and then make those improvements as we go, as we have funding and do fundraising type things. So we're excited about that. But we're also excited to bring a really nice drinking fountain hydration station for all the users at Cooper's. And I do agree that we're seeing a lot more usage with the daylighting of the creek beds and the creek restoration projects there and all the invasive removals. So I was walking the park just last week and just was really happy with a lot of the projects going on. So we do have a master plan that has hundreds of hours of community input. It's not a finalized thing. It's just a plan in general and conceptual that can be utilized to go after grants. We've put in for 2 large grants at Cooper Gulch over the last 4 years, totaling one of them totaling over $8 million. And so it's quite extensive and includes all invasive removals, includes trail restoration, and includes the fields, a playground. There isn't a playground there, new restroom facilities, making all those improvements, as I say this all the time, brings that appropriate uses there and changes the park. So that's our big goal for Cooper Gulch. But we can also then take that model and then mold it to fit how the funding sources and things like that are there. We've had ones that were tourism related grants, or environmental things, and so we have a lot of opportunities at Cooper's because it's diverse and it's big. It's 38 acres of park there, so our second biggest park to Sequoia Park at 64 acres. So that is my tidbits for capital projects. If anyone has any questions.
So it's so exciting, to think about all the plans that are, in the works and such. So at some point, and because too with Cooper, there seems to be this revitalized interest. Mm-hmm. It would be awesome if you maybe brought those forward and told us, sort of told us kind of, here was the vision from the original community group, and here's where we're at, and see if there's any opportunity for us to help get involved, with soliciting input and maybe getting some. It's wonderful to see people showing up on these issues.
Yes.
I'm thrilled. So that might be something for, like into January, February.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing that momentum with the smaller projects going on and interest from the community, various interests from the community. And so, like I said, we spent hundreds of hours with the Cooper Gulch Common Grounds group, and we still want to bring them into the picture, and then create more opportunities to guide this process. We've kind of seen it as like, okay, we are juggling 15 things at once. Finishing these major projects has been a goal, and then we can, okay, this park is done. 2030 Dayas is done pretty much now. What are we on next? And our ambition is there. It's the time and giving it appropriate attention, instead of just a a meeting and then we don't hear anything for a while about it. But definitely agree with you on that. Thank you.
I just revisit. Looks like Carl wants to come back up.
Can
Step
there
forward.
be
Yeah.
can there be public comment on this? Okay.
Is the plan online?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Every park has a web page on the city website, and it's like a whole history of everything that's gone on. So
that's
it'll be on there.
exciting to
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Great.
I actually I had something else to share, Jeff. I forgot to mention that with the slough restoration happening at Cooper Gulch, that they're still wrapping up, they're still improving. We were talking about trying to schedule a walking tour of the project mid-November with the engineering staff and the contractor to kind of interpret and explain to folks all the effort that's gone on. So once that is officially scheduled, we'll let y'all know, let Carl know. I know he'll want to come. But I think folks don't know exactly what's going on there, and it's a really big deal. So we definitely want to do like donuts, coffee, and then go on a little walking tour and interpret it. So
I want an email.
okay,
I want
yeah,
Go.
I would
yeah.
come.
I'm hoping to nail the date down next week. It depends on the staff's availability who will host the tour. I can host the donuts and coffee, but I can't provide the tour because I wasn't overseeing the project. So yeah, it'd be a great opportunity to re-engage the neighbors and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much, Robin. Okay, on to the recreation revenue summary for September 2025. Are there any questions or comments from the commission on the recreation revenue report?
Well, they're rocking it. I mean, yeah, doing a great job. It looks like it, keeping
Yeah.
the facilities rented and the programs filled. So thank you.
Great job. Any public comment on the recreation revenue summary? Anyone on Zoom? No. Without any public comment, do we have a motion to accept the September 2025 revenue report? Commissioners?
Sure, I'll move to accept the September 2025 revenue report.
Do we have a second? I'll second it. Let's vote. All in favor? Aye. And the motion passes, and we have accepted the revenue report. Staff reports. Jeff? Okay,
Thank
bye.
you, Jack.
Did you have to leave?
I've just got a few tidbits about some events and updates for this. Some of them are this weekend. So we had 2 weeks ago the October Fest at the zoo was super fun, well attended, celebrating our furry creatures there. We also had a visitor last week. Various media sources have spun it in certain ways or used pictures that were not ones we supplied in the press release, but we appreciate the attention from the community, our fish and wildlife departments, our city staff at the zoo did quite well, and EPD and their animal control. And basically, the bear came to check everything out and see what was going on in there. Was very peaceful, and the zoo was actually closed at that time, and we opened up the gates and kind of let them out. And there are bears and wildlife in Sequoia Park, so some people were surprised to find that out. But this visitor was quite a nice guy. So
He wants to move in.
yeah, and then the Oktoberfest actually it was sold out, and there was a few tickets out there left. But the Humboldt Cider Company created a new cider. If you haven't had it, and if you enjoy cider, I recommend trying to get them. I know Murphy's Markets has it, and it's got our cute Ishung bear on the front and little skywalk in the background and the Sequoia Park Zoo logo on the back. And so it's a partnership with them, and we're looking forward to more of that type of stuff so that we can maybe get some of those proceeds to like our wildlife conservation programs and such. So it was super cool. And it's quite tasty. I did imbibe. And so I had ran to the store later that week and bought up a few extra cans. But the Del Norte Dog Park event that we had scheduled for this weekend, we did decide to cancel. We're expecting wet weather Friday night and Saturday. So we'll reschedule that. Also, our Halloween event at Sequoia Park has been moved indoors to the Muni. So it'll be at the Muni from 12 to 2. If any kids want to come, we usually get upwards of 1,000 kids showing up at the park. So you know, we're sad that we won't be hosting that scale of an event, but please come to the Muni at 1120 F Street. And then the Boo at the Zoo is on Sunday, the 26th, and that will be rain or shine. Come to the zoo in your costumes, and it's from 11 to 2. So that's our events going on, and all I've got to say for now, unless there's questions.
Hey, I have a question about the Muni. You know, since I've grown up around here, that place used to have a lot of events, and with events, I'm guessing revenue. But it was a very popular place, and I don't know if it's up to code right now to have a lot of people, or have we ever thought about like having more events that bring in like revenue? Because I'm sure there's, you know, opportunities for that. So I just wanted to ask about that.
Definitely. It is up to code. It is still used. My experience too, I've been to a lot of concerts there. It's a smaller venue with some challenges compared to modern facilities, but there's been a lot of very good shows. Typically we do, like when we have a concert, we'll take like a percentage of the ticket sales. So it is a good revenue source for us. It's also staff dependent too, of like if we're staffing the building with custodians and facilities maintenance, things like that. It was a venue for the Redwood Jazz Festival, which is now the Redwood Music Festival, for a very long time. And it's just, I think since COVID, we've had quite a slowdown. We did have an event that was an ice skating event, like Ice Capades thing there. That was probably 8 months ago though. And we do get inquiries about concert stuff, and then sometimes it falls off. But we had a lot of regular bands that would come through, and they like to play there, Primus and some other ones. And then what I remember back in the 80s was like a lot of country and western stars. We've had a variety of all kinds of stuff, and so it is available there. It's not highly marketed, which we could do a little bit about that, but we do get a lot of inquiries, and whether or not it comes to fruition though, but definitely on our radar. And over the past 20 years, I worked at concerts there, Snoop Dogg and other things that were quite ruckus.
We did just get a new roof there.
We did get a new roof, and so the building is built in 1938 and definitely needs some love, and but the costs are quite expensive. But it's fully functional. The gym, we do have Hoopsters basketball. We have practices for the roller derby. We have toddler soccer and other sports inside there. So we're using it for programming, and but as far as like concerts and bigger things, has slowed down quite a bit.
You know, this actually just reminded me, I had another update report. We are going to be doing a repair cafe. Arcada's been doing the repair cafe, and the volunteer reached out to us, and we're going to host it at the Muni for our first time, see if that's a good fit as a facility. But we're recruiting volunteers who can do minor repairs like sewing, lamps. And yeah, it's free. You just come with what you need repaired, you get in line, and they hook you up with someone, and typically they can repair it on site. So Arcade has been doing it monthly, and we're going to try it here and see if it works out. And if it does, we'll want to continue it. So we thought the Muni was underutilized. We're like, let's do the repair cafe at the Muni. So we'll keep you updated when that date is official. We're looking at sometime in January. All volunteer run and free. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Shout out to Wendy Ring.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions for Robin and Jeff? Okay. Well, it looks like it's time for adjournment. Ooh, look at that. 6:59. Next regular meeting might be on December 4th, or it might be January 22nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. in Council Chambers at Eureka City Hall. And the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Wow. Isn't it great to have public comment?